God bless you, Alice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Noonan, you speak for 15 minutes.
Okay, I'll make it really short. I've got really bad feelings of being here. I've told many people many times that we need to affiliate with the people that we want for office. I'm sorry, Mr. Good, the Constitution Party, we're not affiliated with you. And Will Christensen, I tried to get you guys in on the affiliating with us. You refused to do it. I don't know anything about the two. In the primary, you ran me against the Republican and the Citizens First Party, or the Citizens Party, Mad Max and Lori Roth. Lori Roth is known, even on her webpage, she admits that she's a Republican, and she belongs to the Republican Central Committee. And of course, Mad Max, he's the member of the he was a member of the Citizens Party. At one time, he was affiliated with the Constitution Party, but he says he doesn't like the Constitution Party anymore. So I won the primary, and I'm still being pitted against non-affiliated parties. And that's been my constant complaint for the last 8 months. I can kind of sense that there's already been an endorsement. I don't have a flying chance of getting in right now. But I've already done what I originally set out to do. The only reason I ran is because I wanted to have standing against Barry Soetoro, the illegal alien that is in the White House. I do not believe that man is a natural-born citizen, and I don't even believe that he was born in the United States. Everything that I see is that he was born in Kenya. Until he proves otherwise, and the two bogus birth certificates that he has on his webpage, White House webpage, is so phony and so it's been declared fraudulent. Until he proves he's a U.S. citizen, we don't even have to care about whether or not he's a natural-born citizen. He has not proved he's a U.S. citizen. So I did take it to court. There was a California 7 of us. Of course, we lost. The judge wouldn't even allow us to have a hearing on it. He dismissed the case before it even arrived into court. Markham and Wiley is, I don't think Wiley's on the suit you're on right now, is he?
No, I'm too early. That's right.
But Markham's filed March. And it's on a writ of mandate, which is supposed to be, it is supposed to be the first things the judge hears is the writ of mandate. They put it all the way to October 26th. And the courts are so corrupt, the Congress is so corrupt. At least I've accomplished something. At least I've made my presence known in court. We have a written record. But I can tell you right now, from what I see, Obama's going to be the next president of the United States. And I don't believe he's even a citizen of the United States. With, what was 15 people here out from 4 parties, this is all we could do? Look at this. Markham, where have you been for 4 years? We have, what, 6 people, 3 of you from my family. And you say half of these guys, now, Virgil, you can't vote for anything. You're not even a member of our party. We got 2 here. We got a couple here. You won't even let Ernie say anything. Say, no, Ernie, you can't be here. He's the brand new party of the National Party, and he's not allowed in the National Party to speak or vote or do anything. He's the only guy that we have here that's new to the National Party. So I probably will be not here after lunch. I am so upset at you guys. Wiley, you should have been on the ballot. Not Lori Roth, not Mad Max. He would try to, but they took a Republican over you in our party. And you do not put non-affiliated people in my party. I don't want to vote Republican. I don't want to vote Citizens First. I mean, I am never going to vote for Lori Roth. If you want to have her, I think there's only 3 people that can be on this ballot: Lori Roth, Mad Max, or me. We were the only ones in the primary. I won. And now I'm up against another Republican, another, what's your party, Janine? Independent American Party. Markham, what are you doing? Why aren't we affiliating with these guys, joining together? Okay, if you really want Virgil Good, why aren't we affiliated with them?
That's the Constitution Party,
What did I say?
Independent American Party, and affiliate.
Okay, there's so many parties here, I don't know what it is, but you even hear, I mean, if you just look at the first page of this, I mean, even the delegates, it says right here on your piece of paper, section 5787, it says the convention members should nominate as candidates of its party. Our delegates should be of our party. So if you're gonna have delegates, let's be all in the same party. Why are we fractioning off and going different ways? All right, I probably won't be here this afternoon. I have the feeling that the decision has already been made. I can see that the three of us are worthless here. So what's gonna be happening November 7th? I'm gonna be gone, because I'm gonna start another party or just not have anything to do with American Independent Party. If you wanna vote non-affiliates, Wiley, you got it. You want it, you got it. But what are you gonna do? You haven't done anything for 4 years, except maybe Markham, you made this committee and this committee, and you're the head man, and you know, you're not delegating anything. I need a county, you know. How many counties have you built? And maybe a couple. Robert Dumont, you on your piece of paper the other day, the
We organized about 19 interim counties.
Where are they? Where are they?
Excuse me,
It's their
They could-
responsibility.
As chairman, Mr. Newton has the floor, I'm not having a
I'm
debate.
sorry.
You just
Apologize.
speak, for your time, for whatever you wanna say, Ed, it's not a debate going on here.
Well, there is a debate. It's always been between him and me, and I'm trying to say, look, Markham, you're not growing the party. Now, when you took over from me in 2008, we had what? We had 45 people. It wasn't this room. I forget what. It was down there by the governor's mansion somewhere. We had 45 people here. How many actually delegates or committee members do we have here? 6, 10? What do we have? I forget. 8 people here.
With 18, and then we expanded it.
Well, anyway, if, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the only party that the electors voted in November. So if you want to kick me out, go ahead, I don't care. I've given my all since 1999. I've ran for Secretary of State in 2010 in the primary, I won. In 2006, I ran for governor against Arnold Schwarzenegger, I won the primary. In 2010, I ran against Barbara Boxer as U.S. Senate, I won the primary. In 2012, I ran for president, I won the primary. And you guys want to kick me out now? Fine, I'm out of here. Unless you say you're gonna affiliate with me right now. Okay, you want to affiliate with the American Independent Party, or are you going to say hell with you, American Independent Party? What's going to happen November 7th, Janine, when your party has to say, what happened with Tom Tancredo? He ran for your governor?
Oh, that was in Colorado.
Okay, Colorado.
Not Nevada.
He ran for it, he said, well, it was just a marriage of convenience. So what happens if your Republican gets elected? What happens to the AP? Nothing. We get nothing out of it.
Oh, we built a party in Nevada.
Janine,
Yeah.
please.
So, well, no, I addressed her. I addressed her. So, I'm saying I won the primary, but he's already told me it means nothing. It's a beauty contest. So, Ed, I don't care. And plus, you've added some more names after the 8 that we had, or 6 we had on the debate. And where are these other names? Who approved them? Markham, where did you get the approval on this?
They're vice presidential.
All right. So anyway, I don't know if I want to stay with your party. I really don't. I've given 10 years of my life to it, and you've destroyed it. Look, this is it. 4 parties are represented here, supposedly. This is what we've got? We're going to beat Obama with this? What's wrong with you? Why haven't you been delegating? But instead you go, I'm master. Ernie, you can't talk. I had 2 delegates from one from Florida, and then Alice here from, and the last meeting, you wouldn't allow him to talk. And Bill Scheer always let everybody talk. Whatever it is, if you had something to say, and you came to our meeting, you got a chance to talk. But, you know, I don't know who's allowed to talk here. Nathan, I got on your case. Remember? 2011. You were the state party chairman. And you went and became the Western Regional, the divisional director of the Independent American Party. I said, Nathan, you can't do that. You've got to be in our party. You can't go to different parties. You resigned, right? And now all of a sudden you're letting other parties in? And we just kicked him out? All right. You guys decide. If I'm your nominated tomorrow, let me know. Wiley, you're the only other guy that should be it. If I'm not it, I really don't see how you can be rejected by the Secretary of State at the primary, but yet show up magically, be conjured as a delegate or as a presidential campaign in the general.
Yes.
She's already said, no, you can't be it.
Yeah.
And you didn't get your nomination signatures. You think they'll get any write-ins? I don't know. So let me know. Let me know, guys. I guess one of you guys are going to be speaking next, but I think I've made myself pretty well known. Good luck to you guys.
Thank you, Ed, for
Thanks,
letting
Ed.
me know speak.
Whoops. Did you guys get my phone?
Yeah.
You got my phone?
Okay. Next person who likes to, is we're gonna go on the list, would you like? Yeah, we're having from our sister said, Gideon Hanson, who's gonna go and make human speech for.
Yeah, would you sit in the chair there and sort of look at the screen and you'll see that you're, getting the right place. So
That's
don't
pretty scary.
cut your head off or something.
I can't even see everybody from here. I really want to tell you how pleased I am to be here. You know, we've been in the movement a long time. My brother established the Independent American Party in Nevada clear back in '67 and '68. And we've carried it forward, and the American Independent Party was established then. And we are the Independent American Party in Nevada, but we're not affiliated with the National Independent Party. And the reason is because we believe that ballot access is so important, just like you do, staying on the ballot. And that's why we have selected as our presidential candidate Virgil Goode, because he has tremendous credibility. Yesterday when we had him in Nevada, we had the television station there that came to interview him, and the newspaper. And how often does that happen with our candidates? They want to ignore us. But Virgil has credibility because he was in the state senate for 23 years and in Congress for 12 years. And you know, when I asked him, Virgil, why were you a Democrat and an independent and a Republican, and now you're running for us? And he said, well, they all moved, but I stayed in the same place because my principles haven't changed. And you know, when I first knew that Virgil was running for the presidency in our party, I didn't know what I thought. But he, over the time, has convinced me what a man of principle he is, and a man who knows how to work with the media and work with diverse parties, and he has a very positive message. Now, one of the things we've done in Nevada is that we have built a party because we're practical. We had 54 candidates on the ballot last time, more than anybody else in of the third parties in the whole nation. And we elected 4 people. Why? Because when we have a person that can go out and be an ambassador for the truth, like Virgil can do, because he speaks well on all of these issues, and he has the right positions. I support him because he's right on the issues. He's right on the war issues. He's right on pro-life and pro-family. He's right on the constitutional and liberty issues. He's right on immigration. He's the right one. And so when you have somebody like that and they can go out as an ambassador for the truth as a candidate, you can begin to build your party because you have some credibility, because you have done something. Virgil has done something. He has been under fire. He told us yesterday he got kicked out of the Democrat Party, which I thought, what a badge of honor. I thought that was great because he had been kicked out because he voted to impeach Clinton. So he is a man of principle who is willing to stand up and to do the right thing. And we selected him in Nevada as our presidential candidate. And as well, we are affiliated with the Constitution Party. But we can't let those barriers divide us. We have to come together as people that believe the same way. You and I, we all believe the same way, and we're sister parties. Nevada and California have been around the longest of anybody, and we need each other because I understand small meetings, because who's there but the Gideonites, those that are willing to really make a commitment and to follow the difficult road. And so there always aren't a lot of people, but in the end, you remember, the Gideonites, even with 300 people, they lit their lamps, they blew their horns, and the enemies came out of their tent and killed each other. Well, we don't know what opportunities might be for Virgil because he is a person that can speak the truth and has credibility. Just like in Nevada, the media showed up, and you can build your party. You need to build your party. We need to build our party. So I've been very enthused with my opportunity to get acquainted with Virgil, and in fact to be able to endorse him and help him because he brings something to our party that we don't often have. Someone who has actual credibility and recognizability and a real program, and he's gone all over the country, and he has the means, he's had the means to do that. And I am just thrilled today to be here to introduce him and to call him my friend and to call him my presidential candidate. And it's great to be here with you. Thank you so much.
When you get to the chair, sort of center yourself in the screen there. I didn't bring my crew today, so you got to be my crew.
Is it all right to stand?
No, if you'd rather sit, that's better probably. But it's up to you.
I usually like to stand, but
No, just.
I can talk loud enough.
Stand.
All right. First, I want to say thanks to each one of you for being here, for your interest in what is best for the future of the United States. I want to thank Dr. Mark Seidenberg for his work on behalf of the American Independent Party in California and for his work around the country for values which we share. When the AIP party started in 1967-68, it was shared values. There were Republicans in the party. There were Democrats. At home, my county, Franklin County, Virginia, was known as a straight-arrow Democratic Party. And I'll have to tell you, it was conservative. They were Harry Byrd Democrats primarily. But when the votes were counted on Election Day, November 1968, an upheaval happened. The Democrats didn't carry the county. The Republican candidate didn't carry the county. It was the American Independent Party candidate that carried Franklin County, Virginia, and won a lot of Southside Virginia counties. It is the issues, it is the principles that we can be united about. The duty of any candidate is to do what's best for the country, not necessarily what's best for the party. All my life, I've tried to vote for what I thought was best for the district, best for the state, and in Congress, best for the country. And if that makes somebody mad, that saying, I wasn't like Rick Santorum in the presidential debates. He said he had to vote for No Child Left Behind because the Republican leadership came in and said it's time to take one for the team. I heard that when they wanted me to vote for unbalanced budget. I heard that when they wanted me to vote for CAFTA. I heard that when I wasn't voting for MFN with China. And I heard that a lot of times. But you're not there to do one for the party leadership. You are there to represent the citizens of your district and the citizens of the United States of America. I've been honored to participate in the debates, and I want to thank Markham Robinson for his tremendous research and organizing those debates. I had never met personally Wiley Drake. I hadn't personally met Ed Noonan. But your debates and the discussion of the issues, we had 3 good 3-hour debates going over a multitude of issues. And I'll have to say, I thought I knew a smidgen at least about the Constitution. But I got enlightened on these debates by a deeper analysis of the content of some of the language in the United States Constitution. And as I look around this room, I think we are united on a lot of things, more cohesive, if you will, on these issues than something the Democratic candidate or the Republican candidate will be for. We are consistently pro-life. I am proud, if I were to receive your nomination, to say that I agree with the pro-life statements in the United States Constitution, just as you've laid out in your platform. I have always been pro-traditional marriage between one man and one woman. Your basic principles recognize that and follow the Constitution. The AIP position, it's right in what you handed out. Thank you. Don't get involved in foreign wars unless you do it constitutionally. And that means Congress has to declare war. If that principle had been followed, we would be less in debt, and probably the deficits would have certainly been less, if not eradicated. On the area of auditing the Federal Reserve, I think the Constitution Party, the AIP Party, the Independent American Party, Janine, she's not been talking about that just this year. And you know what? The grassroots efforts in AIP, Independent American, Constitution Party, and other parties supporting Dr. Paul on that effort has brought about somewhat of a revolution in the U.S. House of Representatives. Yeah. They passed that just 2 weeks ago with significant support. I think it's like 390 some votes. And if you'd have asked 3 years ago, could that have happened? But it wasn't done because of the Republicans. It wasn't done because of the Democrats. It was done by citizens like you around the United States putting the heat and pressure on the U.S. House of Representatives. An issue that we agree on right down the line is jobs. Because you recognize, unlike President Obama and unlike Governor Romney, who claim they are for jobs in America, you recognize that illegal immigration costs us millions of jobs for U.S. citizens every year, and you are willing to take the hard stand, even though it's not politically correct. I was shocked when Mitt Romney would say nothing when President Obama granted his temporary amnesty. If I were to be elected president, one of the first things I would do is cancel out his executive order for temporary amnesty. Amnesty only encourages more illegal entry into the country. I have talked with persons, and the notion is if you can get into this country from whatever country and just stay a few years, you're not going to have to go home, because of the Obama policies and really the Romney policies on illegal immigration are not solid like those of the AIP party. I've also called, because I believe in jobs in America for American citizens, for a moratorium on green card admissions into this country, with a few exceptions, such as a fiancé visa. And if we had someone like Werner von Braun needing to come into this country to help the United States, a moratorium on green card issuances. A green card gives you the right to work anywhere in this country and to do about any job. When you've got unemployment at 8.3%, it makes no sense to bring in persons that will take jobs from United States citizens. So I'm advocating that moratorium. Together, this is going to be the year for America. Even the polls now show a lot of citizens are upset with, as George Wallace would say, Tweedledum and Tweedledee. They are beginning to understand there's not a dime's worth of difference between the Democratic candidate and the Republican candidate. We're on the ballot right now in about 20 states. We recently got word of being on in Washington and on in New Jersey. In a number of other states, we have submitted and are submitting petitions. We can win the Electoral College. A long, long shot. But I think the citizens of this country, they are tired of the super PACs and the big PACs and the big money running the show. They want us to remember the principles, and there were religious Christian men and women that were at the foundation of the principles that govern the beginning of the United States of America. They are tired of seeing super PACs control our thoughts with these 30-minute ads on TV against someone, against the other candidate. They are going to look for a grassroots candidate. We're not taking any PAC money. Our individual donations are limited to $200. Let's join together. Let's not only send a message, let's win on November the 6th for the American citizen and bring America back on the course that it needs to be a great country. I ask for your support and thank you for your consideration.
Who would like to make a opening remark for Wiley Drake? Okay. Who would like to make an opening remark for Wiley Drake?
There is somebody that is going to do it, isn't there?
What,
She can't.
I don't think so.
She can't.
We were trying to work that out technically and electronically, and it hasn't happened. And I would appreciate that if they could, but they obviously did not get through. So,
If you don't mind, I'll make a short opening remark for Mr. Drake. Okay. First of all, I met Wiley Drake many years ago. First time I had a discussion with him, though, was I had a friend by the name of Irv Rubin, and Mr. Rubin and I used to be active when I was a Republican one time in the Republican Party in Los Angeles County, and unfortunately Mr. Rubin got railroaded and went to jail, and then they threw him over a balcony of the jail while he was waiting for trial, and he was so kind to him and his family. I remembered that, and I have great respect for Wiley Drake. Anyway, a number of years later, I looked at Wiley Drake again, and he was interested in joining our party because he fed up with the Republican Party like I was, and he joined, got me active in the Orange County Civic Committee of our party, and in 2008, he ran for, we picked him to run for Vice President of the United States along with a ticket of Alan Keyes. And Wiley is the Vice Chairman of Orange County American Independent Party Central Committee as background. And I'd like to introduce Wiley Drake to address this, please.
thank you, Mark. I appreciate that introduction, and I do remember those things, walking down memory lane. And I was pleased to have the privilege to work with that gentleman while he was in jail and when he was brutally murdered in jail. And I'll sort of jump right into what I want to talk about, and that is simply this. That's exactly what the party system has brought into this country. I don't care what party it is, that's exactly what they brought in, is a government that is absolutely taking control from the top. And let me say very quickly, I am asking this party to endorse me and present me as presidential candidate. But I want you to know, if you do not choose me, I will not be angry, will not be upset. I will not be less active in the party. I will be President of the United States. The only question is, when? I hope you'll nominate me and I get elected in November. But I'm going to say this, and people are going to call me crazy. They call me crazy a lot, but that's all right. I'm crazy for Jesus. I did not decide to get involved in this run because I wanted to be involved in politics. I am not a politician. I'm a preacher. I pastor church. And whether elected or not, I will still pastor my church. People have asked me, oh, pastor, in my church, pastor, if you do get elected and you're running, what are we going to do? You're going to be gone. I'm not going to be gone. The day that I'm elected president, whenever that is, my first action will be to set up an agenda for the district now called the District of Columbia. They called it the District of Columbia because they didn't want it to be a state, and all of you politicians know the ramifications of that. I don't disagree with that, but I do disagree with the fact that it's called the District of Columbia. Columbia was a false god, and we named the Judeo-Christians capital after a false god. We as Christians have changed that. We do not refer to the District of Columbia anymore. We call it the District of Christ. I go to Washington, D.C. 1 week every month and have since the year 2000. I go there not just to politic, even though I'm pretty good at it and I'm learning. I go there to pray and I lead people there. I am the chairman of a group called the Congressional Prayer Conference. We will go to D.C. on the 19th of this month and we'll be there for 8 days. Every morning at 8 o'clock, we'll be out in front of the United States House of Representatives and in front of the Senate and in the Senate chambers when they will let us. We will also go to the White House and pray. We will pray even if we get arrested. 3 weeks ago, I was put in jail because I was told I could not pray at the White House. I've prayed in the White House, outside the White House, and we've got a group of people. I have a man that's my co-chairman on our committee by the name of Clyde Rivers. Clyde Rivers is the ambassador from the African country of Burundi. You say, well, what's that have to do with America? Well, it has to do with an American citizen, Clyde Rivers, who is my co-chairman of the Congressional Prayer Conference, that got interested because he's black, because he's African American. He got interested in the country of Burundi. He went to Burundi and found out that the president of Burundi was a Bible-believing, born-again Christian running a country with the 66 books of the Bible. Ladies and gentlemen, we used to have a highway that went across this country. It's split up and broken up now, but that's the epitome and the picture of what happened to America. At one time, you could get on Route 66 in L.A. and go all the way to New York City on Route 66. You can't do that now. You can find little pieces of it here, there, and yonder. That's what's happened in our politics. When this country was founded, and when I was a boy, 60-some-odd years ago, this country was a Judeo-Christian country on Route 66, the 66 books of the Bible. I grew up as a Democrat, passing out business cards for my granddaddy, Wiley, and other politicians, and telling people to vote for them because they love Jesus. That was the Democratic Party. And of course, it went awry. Then in 1964, I joined the Republican Party because I met Barry Goldwater, and I thought he'd make a good president. And I worked for him in 1964. He obviously didn't get elected. And then I saw the Republican Party go to hell in a handbasket. And I left the Republican Party in 2006. And that's when Dr. Keyes asked me to serve as his vice presidential candidate. First thing I would do in getting to Washington is I would set up, as I've said in the debates, I would set up a prayer council that would meet Monday through Friday of men and women who will come to D.C. and pray and advise the president. Second thing I would do is shut Washington down. We would have a moratorium. At 5 o'clock, you go home. At 5 o'clock, we lock the doors. I would have a switch that would turn the water and the gas and the lights off on Capitol Hill at 5 p.m. on Friday and would not turn it back on until 8 a.m. on Monday morning. Don't stay in the District of Columbia unless you don't want air conditioning or water or telephone. Shut her down. Go home. As a preacher, I would go home and pastor my church on Saturday and Sunday. I'd put a helo pad by my church so I could get Air Force One in there and then go back to D.C. and be in D.C. at 8 o'clock in the morning ready to go to work. We would work Monday through Friday. All of those would work Monday through Friday. And we would immediately begin to get statements of their belief. We would have Judeo-Christian in office only, and we would get them out. And so, like I said, if y'all nominate me or endorse me, that's great. If not, I'm going to still work with you. I'll work with any party who will fight for righteousness. I don't care who they are. I'm a Baptist by belief. I'm a Baptist by birth. I'm a Judeo-Christian. I'm an Israeli citizen and a citizen of America. But I have some great friends in the Roman Catholic Church and in the Pentecostal churches and the Lutheran churches. I work together with them on a regular basis. Father Frank Pavone, Priest for Life, is the co-host of my television show. I work together with all of them, but they all know I ain't praying to Mary. They know where I stand, religiously speaking. But they also know I'm against baby killing. And that's another thing I would do is I would do away with the term abortion. Abortion is not what's going on. When I worked for Donald Douglas in Long Beach, California, when we would get a plane finished, put together, ready to run up, we would run it down the runway, and we had one word if something happened. If the wheel wobbled or there was smoke or noise on the plane as we were getting ready to take off, we would say, abort, abort, abort. And we would stop the flight, would not take off until we fixed the problem. That's where the word came from. The liberals came along and said, we're not going to call it baby killing anymore. We don't call them drunks anymore. We call them alcoholics. And we don't call them sodomites. We call them gay or queer or some other nonsense. But we use that word abortion. Abortion is sort of clean. Abortion is sort of, well, okay. It's something you may have to do. We got more abortions going on in the church than we do outside the church. We need to clean the church up. We need to clean our nation up. We need to get back to Judeo-Christian principles. And we can clean up a lot of politics if we do that. First thing I would do again after that is set about to shut down welfare. Everybody here is concerned about homeless people. I can solve the homeless problem in America in 30 days. If every synagogue and every kingdom hall and every church would adopt just three homeless people and say, we'll not let them go hungry. We'll not let them walk. We'll get them transportation to and from their job. We'll give them whatever their basic needs are. Just 3 people. We could end homelessness in America in 30 days. We would shut down welfare. We would open up what we have done in our church. We have church fair. We have over 2,000 people come through our church in a year. We win them to Jesus, but we also make them get jobs, and we work with them. We need to set up a church fair nation and do away with welfare. Welfare has ruined our country and continues to ruin it day by day by day. When I'm elected president, and I'm serious as a heart attack about that, whether I get in 11 or not, I don't know. That's up to God. But I know this. God told me, I want you to lead our nation. I was the second vice president in 2008. When I ran with Dr. Keyes, I was second vice president of the largest denomination in the world other than Roman Catholic, and they're just barely ahead of us. That's the Southern Baptist Convention. We have taken some strong stands. We've gotten rid of a lot of our liberal professors in our seminaries. But right now, as I speak to you, we've got 10,000 people that are telling people about Jesus. Over 5,000 overseas and a little less than 5,000 here in the United States of America. We must get back to Judeo-Christian principles. And I'm going to pray for that. And I'm also going to pray imprecatory prayer. Imprecatory prayer is throughout the Scripture. I was accused of threatening the president because I said I was going to pray Psalms 109, where it says, for ungodly leaders, may their children become orphans, and may their wives become widows, and let another take their office. I'm still praying that prayer for B. Hussein Obama, the illegal alien. Every time we turn around, we find somebody else coming up with all this revelation. Everything that Arapaio and everybody else has brought up was in our case, Drake v. Obama. It was all there, all the videos, all the paperwork, all the testimonies, all of that. And so if I do get nominated by this party, I will do my best to serve the party, but I'm going to serve Jesus first and our nation second. And so I do ask you to move me forward, do whatever the Lord lays on your heart. And I've said to the people, say it every day when I get on my TV program, when you go into the polls on November the 6th, looks like you're going to have three choices. A Muslim who believes in pedophilia, and that's what they say. I didn't say that, they say it. And a Mormon who believes in holy underwear and going to become a god when he dies. You can vote for one of those two, or you can vote for a good Judeo-Christian Baptist preacher named Wiley. And I'm asking people to write me in. I don't understand all the semantics and all the mechanics of all the political thing, but I think people are fed up, and I think people are going to do something. So I covet your prayers. I covet your trips with us to Washington, D.C. Anybody's welcome to go. We don't hold big meetings in big hotels. Everybody goes at their own expense. Everybody stays with friends, or if they want to, they can stay in a hotel. When Mike Huckabee came, he stayed at the biggest hotel on the hill. I stayed with a friend who lives across the street. I've got a friend that lives on 2nd Avenue, right behind the Supreme Court. And I sleep on the floor there sometimes when I go back there because I don't have the money to buy a hotel. I'm not playing poor mouth, I'm just saying anybody can go. If I can do, and our little church in Buena Park can do what it's done in the last 15, 20 years, if every church would just take that model and put welfare into practice and get behind our politicians and hold them accountable and make them accountable with the Word of God. We need to get out of the ditch and back on Route 66, the 66 books of the Word of God. Thank you.
I think we owe it to the other people here to give them a chance, however unsatisfactory it is. To speak to us by cell phone, at least, speakerphone.
Okay.
Who has the best cell phone out there?
Okay. I guess the next one is Roland Wallace. Is he available?
Let me call him up and see.
And I do apologize for that. We thought we had the technology, but as I tell my my customers, sometimes technology is not our friend.
False hopes.
I'm sorry?
False hopes sometimes.
So Mr. Wallace only has 15 minutes.
Okay.
And while we're waiting to find maybe the next speaker, mine is working.
Okay.
This is up on the internet. If you want to see
Hello.
any one of
may I
these
speak
three,
to,
you
Ron?
can just go to YouTube, type in The Wiley Drake Show, and you'll see us.
By the way, may I point out, Elaine
This is
and Fred
Mark from
Queen
Robinson.
were
We
gonna
want
try to
him
make
to
it here
speak
today, but Fred is
to us
under
via
chemo
a speakerphone.
for cancer, so, that is why they're not
Right now,
here
actually.
today. And if they do come, we need to be very, very careful of, if we think we
We'll
have a cold
reschedule
or
him if
something,
he's unavailable,
that
but
we're very careful around them.
Okay.
Because when I go down to Stanford, you know, I see people with the masks on, like,
Okay.
gas masks.
Okay.
okay, would you call us back and let us know what his availability will be? We'll call the next person and we'll break for lunch, okay? Yes, I'll call you there, and why don't we just break for lunch and he break
I'll call
early.
the next person. Well,
Or you wanna go to the next
It'll,
one?
it'll be
I know
back.
next one.
Mark, do you wanna break for lunch?
No,
Or
I'll
is
go
that
for the
right?
next person.
Okay, well, we're gonna try for the next person, and then we'll break for lunch, so, gives a little chance to get himself together. That'll be 25 plus 50 minutes would be, you know, 100, be an hour and 15 minutes from now. Okay. Right. Talk to you later, bye. Okay, we'll call the next one.
Okay, Will Christensen?
Okay, let's give that a try here. There we go, here it is. Who has the best cell phone? Do you have the best cell phone?
Well, I have a good one. I don't know if it's the best or not.
Does it have a speaker attachment? We
Yeah,
can try that
well,
again.
Ours are really old and the speaker attachment,
Yeah.
the speaker.
Well, I don't know if I got one
Do you
that'll
have
hook
enough
up.
minutes?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I got it.
But I mean, well, if it's an RCA jack, type thing, that might be.
The little round one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
little round one.
Yeah, if you got that, mine
Okay,
does
here,
have that.
okay, well, why don't I give you the phone number, let's see if you can reach him.
Okay, what's, hang on a
The
minute.
phone number is 928
928
347
347
5724.
5724.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Take one,
Mrs.
pass it around, I
Christensen,
guess.
Is Will there? This is Markham Robinson. Good morning. We had technical difficulties here. We're going to try to put you on some amplification here so that this will be superior. Hold on for a second.
Hold on just 1 second. I'm gonna plug you in. Are you still there? Hello? Are you there? Well, no. Hold on. Are you there? Well, where's the volume?
Right there. It's high. It's already high. It's not connecting.
Okay, we're not making a connection for some reason.
There.
Can you hear me now? Well, it's not working. It's just not, it shows we're,
Okay, let's just use it.
we'll just use the speakerphone. Can you hear me now? Okay, we can hear you too now, so,
Well, this is Markham Robinson. You have 15 minutes. We've experienced some delays and some technical difficulties. So as a result, we're going to have to just use a cell phone speakerphone in order to let you speak to the folks here. I'm going to ask you to gather around a little bit closer so you can hear Will Christensen, the nominee of the Independent American Party, the National Independent American Party. Will, are you ready to speak to our convention?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead then.
All right. Well, it's my pleasure to be here with the American Independent Party. And perhaps you'd like to know a little bit about me. I've been in business for about 40 years, private business. Former Marine Corps enlisted man. Was born and raised in Pennsylvania and came west when I was 21 accepted. And so that's what influenced me to go ahead and accept that nomination and to seek your nomination. An interesting thing in this election is that the independent vote is approximately a third of the expected voters. And that makes the independent bloc either the second or in some cases, in some states, the ruling party or the ruling group. And that is interesting. According to exit polls in Wisconsin, where the governor was, they were attempting to recall the governor, Walker, and I think it was about 36% indicated that they were independents. Now this indicates a strong aversion on about a third of our people to the traditional political parties. And I suspect that aversion may be more than 1/3, 1 out of 3. A similar study was done a few years ago in Texas, and I believe it was 34 or 36% indicated that they were independents in Texas. And that makes the independent group at least the second largest group in Texas. And I believe that runs pretty much across our nation. So let's talk about some solutions for some of the problems that we've got in our nation. I'm pulling up a screen here. I was just in the process of printing these things out, but I haven't gotten this printed out. If Nathan Sorensen is there, he will probably give you a copy of this cabinet, what I call our dream cabinet.
Yes, it's before us.
In this case, is we've looked at constitutionalists across the board, and we thought, if we got elected, who would be there to help us administer the executive branch? And that is the cabinet. And so we got a list of the cabinet officers and began to put together our cabinet. Now, in most cases, these people have not accepted the nomination, and in some cases, they may not even know about it. But these are the types of people and the caliber of individuals that we want filling these positions. Now, let me begin by Attorney General. And for the Attorney General, we've called Judge Andrew Napolitano. And his first assignment would be to research laws passed in the last 20 years as to determine their constitutionality. And those unconstitutional laws will not be enforced by our executive branch pending remedial action by Congress. The second assignment is to research federal judges and Supreme Court justices who have given rulings outside of their constitutional authority so that constitutional removal action may be started. Third assignment is to develop a bill limiting presidential executive orders to the executive branch of government and shepherding that bill through Congress. The fourth assignment is determine which legislation passed in the last 100 years runs counter to the Second Amendment. And the reason we did 100 years was because Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who was president from 33 to 45, put in some very bad gun bills that were outside the Second Amendment. So these laws will not be enforced by the executive branch pending remedial action by Congress. As a Attorney General for the counties of the United States, we want to have Sheriff Richard Mack, the author of The County Sheriff, America's Last Hope. And his assignment is to teach the county sheriffs, and there's between 6,000 and 7,000 of them across our nation, teach the county sheriffs their duty to protect their constituents against runaway federal, state, or local governments. Okay, Director of Management and Budget, Hans Anderson, CPA, former auditor for the state of Arizona. His first assignment is to bring budgets into line with revenue. Second is to oversee bills with his staff, oversee bills before Congress to eliminate pork barreling and other wasteful practices. And third assignment is to eliminate the national debt. That ought to keep him busy for a little while. The White House Chief of Staff is Scott Bartlett, former Vice Chairman of the Constitution Party. His assignment is to ensure that every executive branch organization is running constitutionally and determine which executive branch organizations are constitutional prior to their removal. Secretary of Defense, Representative Alan West of Florida. Now, Alan West is a former colonel with the paratroopers and one good, savvy military man. His first assignment is to ensure the defense needs of the United States are met. Assignment 2 is to bring our troops safely but rapidly home from foreign wars. Assignment 3, assign troops to work under the Border Patrol in managing our borders. Now that would immediately, instead of having the Border Patrol go out as they do by twos now for safety, it would have one trained INS agent who, and they are very, very skillfully trained, who understands the law and how things are supposed to be done, and we would have a soldier or a Marine there with his M16 for protection. So that would double our INS and help to control our borders. Secretary of Education is Ola Foster. She is the president of Black Americans for Family Values and the author of What's Right for All Americans. Excellent individual. I've met her, and she is I pick for the Secretary of Education, a very skillful teacher in the Los Angeles district. Her assignment is painlessly but rapidly transfer all educational control to the states or respective school districts. That's number 1. Number 2, develop a free enterprise internet program for those who wish to legally immigrate to the United States, featuring training in English, liberty principles, and needed skills. Assignment 3, phase out the Department of Education when Assignment 1 is completed, and have suggested educational standards for school districts be published by Hillsdale College or another reputable organization. I believe Hillsdale will do that for us. Secretary of Homeland Security, Stuart Rhodes, the founder of Oath Keepers, Yale Law graduate, excellent individual. I've met him. Assignment 1, phase out the TSA, returning this function to the airlines. There's no need for a federal bureaucracy to determine the safety of the passengers getting on. That should be done by the airlines. It's their airplanes that are going to get blown up. Assignment number 2, facilitate the organizing, arming, and disciplining of the various state militias. Now, if you'll read the Constitution, the state militias are to be organized, armed, and disciplined by the federal government and trained and have their officers chosen by the states. And so that's the way we will play that game. Assignment number 3, phase out the Department of Homeland Security by transferring its legitimate functions to the states while continuing to arm, organize, and discipline the militias as Assistant Secretary of Defense for Militia Affairs. Okay. assignment, by the way. Her first assignment is to bring the executive branch organizations within the bounds of the Constitution. Second, make preparations for restoring federal land to the states in which the land resides. Exceptions for lands for forts, military bases, and ports which will be bought by the federal government from the states involved. And that's almost a direct quote from the Constitution. There was a law passed in Utah, I believe, this last year, this year, 2012, which is an attempt for that state to get the federal land under the control of the state of Utah, I believe. Okay, Secretary of State Scott Bradley, he's the author of To Preserve the Nation and one of the finest constitutional scholars I know. His first assignment, develop bills to have the United States withdrawn from the United Nations, NATO, CETO, NAFTA, World Trade Organization, World Court, International Monetary Fund, etc., and promote their passage in Congress. Assignment 2, develop friendly relations with all nations, alliances with none. Promote the principles of liberty worldwide. Assignment 3, develop bills holding off foreign aid and promote their passage in Congress.
We need to give you a warning. You have a minute to go.
I beg your pardon, 1 minute to go?
That's right, 15 minutes. We had to cut it down.
Oh, I thought I had 24.
That's true.
Shut up before this. Okay. Secretary of the Treasury, Ron Paul. Assignment 1, bring the assets of the Federal Reserve under the control of the Treasury Department using the Voorhees bill or some other bill. Assignment 2, restore gold and silver as the monetary base for the nation. Well, you see where we're going with this. And what I would suggest that, and hope that you would do, would be vote your conscience. You vote, let your conscience be your guide as to which of these 6 candidates, and they're excellent people, would be the best for the American Independent Party. And if you decide that the solutions that I am proposing are something that would be helpful to the nation as they were disseminated by the American Independent Party and the Constitution Party that, by the way, I am the selection for the Constitution Party of Oregon. And so we're going to get these out on an internet explosion. And we hope that this type of idea of solutions, good old American know-how and solutions to the European problems that our normal Republican and Democratic parties have foisted upon us, those American solutions will put us back on the road to prosperity, freedom, and peace. And I thank you for your time and earnestly solicit your vote if you feel that this program and myself would be the best for your party. Thank you.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you.
What I'd like to do is go to the next speaker.
Are we going to have lunch?
Why don't we do the speakers for the president first, then we can have lunch.
Okay,
Tom Hopeling.
Rollins,
Do we have another one we need to call?
yeah, we have Tom Hopeling.
Oh, Tom Hopeling,
Okay, hang on a minute. Give me Tom's number.
Okay. We also have another one too, Rollins Wallace.
Well, he was around the first time, so this is Tom, I'm gonna go back to them later.
Okay, all right. Tom Hopling's number is 712-887-1489.
Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't do it right. Hang on a minute. Okay, one.
We have got.
Give me that number again.
Yes, 712.
712.
887.
Well, wait a minute. I'm not doing something right here. I don't know what I'm doing.
712.
Okay, 17. My phone's gone berserk on me. I'll get it in a minute. 17. No. Let me see if I can pull. Tom up.
write
Tom
down.
Home, are you looking for Tom Home?
Well, no, I don't know what's happening. My phone has got,
712
got a mind of its own.
887 1489. Just a second here, let me write it down.
Okay, I got it running. I got it working now, I think.
712.
Please read it in addition to our platform to Tom, so he's
Got it.
aware of.
1489,
our platform change
1489 as
and
well.
address it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Tom, this is Pastor Wiley Drake, and I'm serving as the media correspondent here for the AIP party, and we've been going through several of our presidential candidates. Do we have someone that's going to introduce Tom?
I'll let you do it, and then also,
Dennis, do you want to introduce Tom?
Dennis do it, but Tom, it's Mark Seidenberg. Before we do that, I'm having Markham Robinson read an addendum to our platform, because you might want to comment on it during your presentation.
Okay, Tom, this was an addition to our platform, which we otherwise held constant and appointed a platform committee. Be it resolved, it was introduced by Pastor Wiley Drake, be it resolved that meeting in Sacramento, California, August 11, 2012, at its biennial convention, the American Independent Party goes on record that we support Israel as they rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, and Mark, at Mark's request, I read that adopted addendum to our platform. I also have to tell you that because of technical difficulties, we're having to use a speakerphone in order for you to address the convention here, and that we've reduced the time available for that to 15 minutes. So if you're ready to go, Tom, I'd like to give this over here to hold up to the radio audience of Wiley Drake.
All right, Tom, you're live and on, and go right ahead.
Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you to everybody who's gathered there in California. God bless all of you. I appreciate having a few minutes to address you and just talk about what's going on. So, the recent debates that you folks put on, I want to thank you for those as well. I think that was very well executed and very well conceived, and I think was very helpful to me personally. Whenever you have a chance to contend for what you believe, iron sharpens iron. So it was a very positive experience for me, and I want to thank you for having this series of 3 debates. Now, in those debates, I thought they were very well ordered in that the first debate dealt with principles, the second with domestic policy, and the third with foreign policy. I think that should be the priority because internally and externally, our principles make up our foundation. In terms of our security in the world, if we're not strong at home, we're most certainly not going to be strong in the world. In fact, we're going to be defenseless. So I'd kind of like to order my remarks today along those lines, and I'd like to talk first of all about principles. Today, I'm sure some of you have noticed that the impending Republican nominee, Mitt Romney, has chosen Paul Ryan. Congressman from Wisconsin is his right name. Now, there are conservatives who think that's just dandy, but there are conservatives who haven't thought things through very well. Because when it comes to principles, Paul Ryan has a faulty basis. He is truly an Ayn Rand objectivist. He's not a moral conservative. In his remarks today, he made reference to nature and God. But there was nothing in the speech that showed that those words were carried into policy, and there's nothing in his record that shows that those words are carried into policy. When it comes to Mitt Romney, same thing. So, Paul Ryan supports lots of legislation that ends with, and then you can kill the baby. He supported TARP. He supported the bailouts. He supported raising the debt ceiling repeatedly by trillions and trillions of dollars. He was one of the GOP establishment leaders who went on a wild spending spree when they controlled the Congress under G.W. Bush. So at best, Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan, at best, represent the status quo. That's on their good days. Now, I happen to be one that believes that we don't have time for the status quo. I believe that we're too near the precipice morally, financially, and every other way to be waiting around for somewhere over the rainbow promises. Paul Ryan's famous budget plan doesn't balance the budget. The debt under his plan increases every year off into infinity. So, here's the principles. That's where your policy should flow from. And these people's stated principles don't even carry into policy. So, next matter I want to address is, your choice for your presidential nominee this year. I want to ask for your vote. I want you to know my intent. My intent is to campaign as hard as I can through November. First and foremost, in California, is that if you all nominate me, my intent is to come to California and make California the leading edge of our campaign this year. I want to go out and organize the whole state and turn this around. Mitt Romney cannot win California, even his own people admit that. So let us do it. When it comes to other places in the country, obviously we have America's Party. You are refounding the American Independent Party. I think we have a proven track record of working together. Maybe not always agreeing on every single jot and tittle. Maybe not always agreeing on process. But fundamentally agreeing on most of the most important principles and having an ability to work together and to help each other. So my intent is to help you as you build your new party across the country. I think my record in terms of helping the American Independent Party in California speaks to my sincerity in that regard. So again, I ask for your vote. This isn't easy, as you all know. We're up against it. We're up against a mindset that, is basically layer after layer after layer of lies that they've been sold by the two major political parties for many years that become more and more intense with every election cycle. We will continue to confront that mindset wherever we can find principled people who haven't bought into those lies. We'll continue to try and gather them up. And we'll also try and find the wisdom to break this paradigm that they've created for themselves. The folks running around saying we have to vote for Mitt Romney because Obama's so scary. What they don't realize is that they've created their own self-fulfilling prophecy. As I've said many, many times, the shouting of America begins the day that Christians and conservatives stop supporting what they say they hate. So, again, I ask for your vote. I ask for your nomination. My pledge to you is to work as hard as I can, as smart as I can, to make the most of it. And if we can do well in California, it will help us, but it will also help you in terms of the election cycles that they're heading. So, again, thank you for having me here today. As you all know, I'm always available to answer any questions. My phone is always on. We have many, many conference calls, several a week at least. I'm always available to you whenever you need to talk. I'm always ready to hear your ideas, your suggestions. Always ready to help you if you're engaged in a project that I think is helping in the project of getting this country back on principle and back in the hands of people. So God bless you. I will be keeping your continued deliberations in my prayers as the weekend goes along, and I will also be heading your way to help if I should receive the honor of your support in this nomination process. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay. Is it possible for us to eat? We've had more than the number scheduled before lunch.
Okay.
Speakers.
So these are the guys we'll hear
We're
after
still
lunch?
Yeah, we'll do the rest after lunch.
lagging behind a little bit. We're catching up.
Then we'll have a recess then before we vote, right?
Yes.
So we can kind of think about what's going on?
Yes.
Okay. Ah.
You do the food order now. Yes.
I think with the proxies that Mark and Markham have, I hope they're gonna swing the election.
I don't know if those proxies are good for voting for the president thing.
I think they are.
Yes, they are. John Roberts, proxies are going to be done for
They are?
two conventions in a row, absolutely. In our practice.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, rather than us just eavesdrop on this meeting and continue to broadcast, this has been a special edition of the Wiley Drake Show. And this is a perfect example, and I'm going to say to these folk here, as well as all of our listening audience, this is a perfect example of what God has called me to do. And I call it, have camera, will travel. They were here, they were set up to do their broadcast, their recording, and as quite often happens in everybody's walk, the electronics went down, and so we went live, and we can do that. So if any of you here have an organization, political or otherwise, all you got to do is let us know. We'll be glad to come. And I'm doing a thing down in Branson, and I wanted to end with this. Go to the website and check out the Branson Cross. Some friends of mine are putting up a cross 200 feet high, just north of Branson on the highway, and it's being worked on right now. And so just go to bransoncross.com. We'll be down there in the near future to show you that. But we go all over the country. We go to D.C. We've broadcast live from the Supreme Court. We broadcast live from the Senate, from the House, and we'd be glad to come. I have teenage granddaughters, and one of my teenage granddaughters said, "Grandpa, I've got a friend that's having a big birthday party. She's Hispanic. They're having a quinceanera." And so I went and televised her whole quinceanera with all the Mexican dress and the Mexican dance and all of the blessings from the priest, and we did all of that. So we do everything. So give us a call. Right now, though, we're going to go off the air because the party is taking a break. They've got this strange habit in the AIP party. They like to eat regular meals once in a while. And so it is meal time here. We're going to break, and God bless you. And don't forget, watch the Wiley Drake Show. Remember, the theme is do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. God bless.